Hello Year 4 and welcome back to session 4, the final session for this week of your English. Now before we start anything today, your first job is to read chapter 4. So pause me now, go off and read chapter 4. While you're reading it though, I want you to think about what we learn about the character of Ma. I want you to be character detectives again. You're really good at this. We've had lots of practice at this week. I want you to think about action, dialogue and description. What do you notice? You can make yourself a few notes if you want to. You could do yourself in a grid form or bullet point, or you could do a mind map. However you want to collect your thoughts as you're reading is absolutely fine. So read chapter 4 along with taking some notes about Ma, and then come back to me when you have done that and we will move on to the next part of the lesson. So, we're going to be writing, we're going to be scripting today a conversation between Ma, the sheep, and Babe, the pig. You're going to need to apply all the knowledge of these characters that we've gained from the text, as well as our knowledge of writing speech. There are some top tips for you down here just to remember. If you need to go back and refresh though, just go back to lesson 2 and watch the BBC Bite Size clip again, and that should help you. Okay, so we're going to be writing a conversation between Ma and Babe. And today I do want to see your writing because I'm looking at the technical writing of a conversation. Have you got the rules? Do you know what happens with speech? Okay, it's going to be really important moving through your learning in year 5 and year 6 that you can write speech correctly using the correct punctuation and the correct rules. So let me set the scene for the paragraph. We're going to write a paragraph, and the paragraph is going to be a conversation between Babe and Ma in which Babe is asking advice on how to be a good sheep pig. So, what is the advice? Where are they when this conversation takes place? You've got to kind of set the scene. They wouldn't be in a restaurant having a meal, would they? Think about where they would be. Think about the characters. Think about what we know about them. We know that Babe is quite obedient and he wants to please. Think about the character Ma. I'm not going to give you any hints and tips on Ma today because we've looked at characters quite a lot this week, so I want you to have a go at thinking about that character yourself. And then we're just going to write a simple paragraph, a conversation, using speech, using dialogue verbs like said. You don't want to use said all the time though. You might want to say whispered or asked or answered. I don't know. You're writing the conversation, so you'll be able to choose those verbs correctly. So here's just a little bit of a start. And I'm not going to do any more than this today. Babe, cuddling up close to Ma, rested his head on her tummy. Open speech marks. Capital letter to start the dialogue. Excuse me, Ma, comma, close the speech marks. He whispered gently. Whispered is my dialogue verb. And gently is my adverb. It adds more detail to this dialogue verb. It tells me how Babe whispered. Then we've got some more speech. So open speech marks, capital letter. Can I ask you some advice? ... And you could then carry on. Notice though that it doesn't just go, excuse me Ma, Babe said. Can I ask you some advice? Said Babe. Of course you can, said Ma. There are bits in between to break up the text. So although you are writing a conversation, it could be here, can I ask you some advice about being a good sheep pig? He asked politely. Ma thought about that for a while and then replied with, and you can carry on with your dialogue. So there's got to be some speech in between. There's got to be, sorry, not some speech in between. There's got to be, we have to use some sentences in between to break the speech up. Because we don't just want speech. And that makes writing really boring. And it will turn your writer off, okay? Your reader off, sorry. They'll be bored. They want to know what action is also happening. So I'm really looking forward to seeing your conversations, your short paragraph between Babe and Ma. Remember, we're thinking about Babe is asking advice how to be a good sheep pig, not a sheepdog, a sheep pig. So send me all your fantastic writing, all your fantastic conversations to the Year 4 email. And I will see you next week for some more English sessions. Before I go though, and before you look at next week's English, I want you to read chapter 5 to chapter 8. So we're not going to do any writing for those chapters at the moment. I just want you to read them and I just want you to enjoy them. Have a fab weekend, and I will see you next week for some more English, some more thinking about the sheep pig. Bye!